Hello everyone, this is Richie English. I'm a composer in residence at GCR Audio, and I am with Uncle Dave Loss right now from the one and only Aqueous. And I just want to take a little bit of time to talk about the new album, Cycles, which I had the privilege of working with the band on scoring again. The last album I worked on was Willy is 40, and that was right about the beginning of my career, essentially doing what I'm doing here at GCR Audio.
Just do 2 and 2. Or how about like...
Yeah, exactly. So this time around, I heard the new tracks, and I kind of decided that I had to work on this one, and I kind of cornered Dave, and essentially told him I have to work on it, because this is one of the albums that you work on where you kind of know that you're gonna enter the process in one state as a composer, and you're gonna emerge from the process fundamentally different in some way, and you can just hear it in the music. Something's gonna change for you.
This was our second time working with Richie. So this time around we kind of knew what to expect in terms of the process, where we would present him these mostly completed compositions, and he would, kind of go off for a while and come back with all these ideas and whatever. And then basically with Dave and I, we have such a distinct vision of what we like, where melody is concerned. And like melody and harmony and sort of those obvious things about music are some of the things that we prioritize the most. So it was really important to us that we found some kind of middle ground between Richie's sort of more dissonant style and then our kind of more melodic serve the song, whatever type of deal. And we absolutely achieved that on this album with Richie. We did last time, and I think even more so this time we did, because on Cycles, generally speaking, it's a lot more thematic, and the material seems, I think for all of us, was a lot more meaningful. And this was sort of working with Richie was a nice culmination of a lot of the ideas that we had. We could really see it come together, and he was kind of the perfect guy to orchestrate these compositions for us and with us. So the end product, I think we're all really, really happy with, and working with Richie was great. He's an awesome dude, and he's an intense dude, and I think that's kind of a lot about what we like about him.
The band is expanded in every dimension that you can conceive of musically. Primarily they've expanded in terms of their control of their compositions. Aqueous now operates more than ever in composing symphonically. And it's symphonic because of the way that they treat their melodies. It's symphonic because of the way that they treat their themes. In the tradition of classical composers, they operate with theme and variations. And so this is what was really interesting for me as a composer to work on the album, was to hear these tracks on this new album. You'll hear one, Staring into the Sun, for instance. They compose in blocks of music and have these motifs that keep emerging and being varied and coming back in new versions. So for me as a composer, this was really, really fascinating, because every band has a very unique space. I call it a musical space. Like there's a certain way to operate and put orchestral instrumentation in. And with Aqueous, it's really challenging to do that, because you'll hear these tracks and they're absolutely just chock full of melodic lines, overlapping, counterpoint, all the stuff that makes symphonies and classical stuff really great. And so most people will hear it and it'll sound finished. But to my ears, that's where the challenge came in, because I was hearing Aqueous' very unique compositional space. And so to compose the orchestrations I did for Aqueous on Staring into the Sun specifically, but you'll hear brass, you'll hear strings that we did here. It's not my job to add anything. It's my job to highlight what is already there. It's my job to, continue their tradition on stage, taking riffs and taking melodies and improvising on them. It's my job to do that in the studio.
Working with Richie is awesome. He's a great guy. He knows a lot about music, a lot more than I do. So it's fun just to learn from him. And all the string parts that Mike and myself and him worked on together, we went through it and edited it just the way we wanted it. And we really think it came out great on 2020 and Staring Into the Sun. We had a great time doing it, and it was a pleasure working with him, and hopefully we'll be working with him again.